Good morning,
Good morning,
everybody.
everybody.
Thanks for joining us for our CNP monthly webinar. Today is November 20th.
It's November
We have
20th.
another week before
Week before
Thanksgiving,
Thanksgiving.
and in the chat, if you want to put what's your Thanksgiving dinner, that would be great. For today's meeting, let's bring up the agenda. We have a couple of guests today. We have Dina Benson from Dairy West and Edith Gonzalez from Gold Star Foods. We're going to talk about procurement and NTIG grant, NSLP on-site monitoring. We have a bunch of farm to school topics, literacy from the lunchroom, talk about trainings, and then what's coming up next. So with that, if I'll go ahead and introduce Dina Benson. Well, she's with us again. She'll be making an order for our legendary drop kits and would love to offer them to you guys. So Dina, if you want to come off mute and take it away.
Thanks so much, Pam. It's my pleasure to be here again. Thank you for allowing me a little bit of time to talk to you all about a couple of opportunities that we have right now. I'm going to be making a resources order and wanted to make sure that all of our school nutrition directors have the opportunity to request resources, marketing requests, or marketing resources that we have available at this time. On your screen, you can see how you would get to our website. So if you go to dairywest.com and then up in the corner, there is what's called a partner portal. That is for each one of you. You are the partners that I get to work with, and it's such a pleasure to be able to work with each one of you. That one, that partner portal applies to all of the grant opportunities, all of the different opportunities that we have for our school nutrition directors. You can see on the second picture that there is a school nutrition area. We also have some K through 12 education resources, which is what we talked about last month with our farm to school virtual farm tour. So you can find all of those things on the partner portal. Today, if we move to the next slide, I'm going to talk to you about a new program that hopefully you have heard a little bit about. I'll just thank you so much. It's called Legendary Drops. The purpose of this new program is to give you the opportunity to try out a new scratch or speed scratch recipe that is kid tested, kid approved. We've run it through different kids and made sure that this is something that they will eat. They also are all USDA guideline compliant. These are made for you to be able to introduce these recipes as a specialty day. So focused around, like if you take our Fiesta Parfait, to be able to feature this on a day like Cinco de Mayo and say, hey, you know what, we're going to celebrate this with our schools. We always know that if we have a celebration, we bring in more participation. These kits will give you the school recipe for each of these recipes. An at-home recipe that you can use in a newsletter or send home with students. Posters in 3 ready-to-print sizes. Those are downloadable on our website. The taste test kit that will help you to see if this new recipe is a hit with your kids and something you want to consider adding to your menu. It has a sample newsletter write-up that you can send out to parents, use with your students, and also a sample social media post that has these beautiful pictures on them to release this to your students to say, hey, you know, we're going to be trying this new recipe tomorrow. Make sure you join us so you can have a vote as to whether this new recipe stays on our menu. It also has a sample digital menu board slide. If any of you use the digital menu boards, this is the perfect slide for you to be able to say, hey, we're going to be trying something new tomorrow or next week. Please join us and make sure that you take part in this celebration. We obviously encourage you to be able to make these releases one of your celebration days so that you can pull in more participation on these. Right now, usually these are all downloadable on our website, but right now I am going to make an order for these to be able to get these out into our schools for you to try. So we have the opportunity for you to request these. If you look at your inbox later today or early tomorrow, you will see a newsletter from me that will have the link for you to be able to go in and request any of the marketing materials that we have, including our cafeteria kits, which we have featured in the past, and our Strive for 35 training toolkit, as well as the breakfast toolkit. So you'll be able to request any of those to go into your school, any and all of them that would work well for your schools. And I do know that some of you have already signed up for these at our ISNA food show that we just had. If you have done that, I have your orders. You won't need to reapply for those. So just know that your request has already been entered into our form, and your order will be shipped to you as soon as we get those in. If we go to the next slide, the next thing that we will be featuring is our Strive for 35 training and toolkit. So this has a 25-minute training that is on our website that you can show to your staff. You can count this as your professional standards training. It's 25 minutes, but then there are some worksheets that they can fill out that will help to show that they were able to listen to the training, and also to evaluate what's going well with your milk, and what maybe are some areas, some pain points that could be taken care of, whether that's maybe a glitch in the way that you're receiving or storing or serving the milk. It will kind of help you be able to figure out where those pain points might be. It also will give you some information on like how to maintain your milk cooler, how to tell if it's not working properly. And in addition to that, there is a portion on there that talks about the nutrition of milk and why it's so important that we have it on our school milk trays, which is a really great nutritional education piece for your staff as well. So you have the opportunity to request each one of those for each of your schools if that's something you'd like to feature. To end things up today, I just want to once again bring back our school nutrition Facebook group and tell you the purpose of this one. If you will click on the or use the QR code here, you can join the group if you haven't already joined. The purpose of this is that it gives you a platform for school nutrition professionals to be able to network, to share exciting things that you're doing in their district, and to ask questions. Like, hey guys, I am looking for a new recipe that features some of my USDA foods. Do you have anything that's really working well with your students? Our goal in this, we got a request from some of our school nutrition directors to have a place for you to be able to have these conversations that are local to your area. This is what this platform is for. Of course, you will occasionally see some opportunities for grants for our current order for Legendary Drops from Dairy West. But mostly we're going to sit in the background and let you be able to network and have these conversations with each other. So feel free to invite all of your friends, join, and make sure that you share all your great ideas here. If you need more information, feel free to reach out to me at any time. My email is on this last slide, and I'm always available for anything that you might need. Thank you so much for giving me the time, and watch those inboxes for that resources request form for you to fill out.
Dina, thank you so much for that great information. I put a couple of links in the chat, so folks can go in on the chat, and maybe I'll repost those in just a second too. But yeah, so reach out to Dina and take advantage of those resources. So next we have USDA Foods, and let's hear from Edith.
Hi, good morning, everyone. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Edith Gonzalez. I am the USDA Food Program Manager for Gold Star. I want to go ahead and do a live training. I want to use a school district who has pounds, um, who's willing to let me use their school district as an example.
I see you can use Bonneville.
Okay, perfect.
Thanks,
Okay,
Heather.
thank you. Let me use this one. Okay. So on the main Gold Star dashboard, there's a
Hang on,
few,
Edith, you should be able to share your screen.
and then is it showing up?
I can see it.
Is there people that can't see it?
Heather says she can see it too. So apparently it's just Zoom host who can't see it. Okay, great. Go ahead.
There's a few
Okay.
tools and features that I want to review and touch bases on. The majority of the time is going to be spent reviewing your processing pounds and where to find those helpful tools for
Okay,
you.
hang on.
Hold
There.
it.
We have a lot
Most
that say they
most
can't
people
see it.
cannot see it. There we go. I can see it now.
Okay.
Are we good?
I stopped sharing, so
Okay.
it looks like you're up now. Yes.
Okay.
Thanks, guys. Okay, carry on.
The first tool I want to go over is your search items with nutritionals right under your tools and resources. So this is where your product specification sheet will be held. You can filter through if you're looking for specifics under your item group. You'll be able to see your commercial, your processed commodity, and your USDA. For this purpose, I'm going to go ahead and do our processed commodity. And then all our 4 series items are our processed commodities. Just a reminder, only those approved will be able to draw down pounds for you in commodity. Those that are not approved will not. I'm gonna use a Cargill item. So this is your manufacturing item number, the description for that, the brand, and then your item category. This item grouping will tell you that this is a commodity item, and it'll also give you a value pass-through method. So under USDA eligible, it's just going to tell you that this is the value pass-through for our item, which is just net off invoice. Net off invoice means that this item will be deducted pounds until it has been invoiced. It'll also give you the pack size, the quantity, and the pallet for this item. And it'll also, if you scroll all the way to your right, you'll be able to see the commodity value, the commodity pounds, and the price. And it also is letting you know that this is an on-contract item. By selecting the highlighted, underlined, bolded description, will take you directly to the product specification sheet. So this is where all of the product specification sheet will be housed for you guys. And you can do this as well for your USDA items. If you want to filter for your USD items, you can only filter for a specific item group one at a time. So you would have to unselect processed commodity and then select your USDA. And this is where you would find all your USDA items. The next tool I want to review is your SCPDS. This is your summary and product data sheet. This is all your further processed items, and it'll group it by manufacturer. Just a side note, there are all approved manufacturers. For Idaho, we only have a set number of approved manufacturers, and you would need to filter through those to find your specific commodities. I'm going to go ahead and just click on Cargill. This will give you the school year for which the items are approved for, the processor's name, if this is an approved, new, or revised item, and then this is our end product code for that material, the product description, the weight per case, the servings per case. It'll give it to you in ounces as well. And then this is our material code number. It'll give you the description of that as well. And it'll most importantly give you your draw per case. So how many pounds it takes to draw a case. And then the value per pound. And then the total USDA Foods value per case. You are also able to filter through, and you would need to know the end product code in order to filter through. I'm gonna go ahead and share our drawdown sheet so you guys are able to compare the end product code and where to find this number. So our drawdown cheat sheet is sent at the beginning of the school year to all school districts. It'll give you the item number, so our 4 series are our processed items. It'll give you the vendor item number, which is the same as our end product code. So this vendor item number will be inputted for our end product code. So if I were to filter for Cargill, let's do 4927. And as you can see on here, 4927 is our item 406339, the pre-cooked scrambled eggs. This is an approved item. So you know that the scrambled eggs draws down 18.38 pounds per case. It'll give you the value per pound of that and your total value per case, which is a 12.95. Now I'm going to go back to our drawdown cheat sheet. So the vendor item number is also your end product code, which is where you will filter for in your SEPDS. It'll give you the description of that item, the brand, the vendor number, and then the material raw commodity code. And then also give you your draw per case on here. And then most importantly, it'll give you your notes. This will let you know if this is an open or closed bank. And then currently, as you can see, we do have a few open banks. These open banks are items that have not been utilized up to the percentages that they should be expected for throughout the school year. When a bank is open, an email is sent by either the state or myself letting you know that the bank has now been released and you are allowed to draw down pounds of that item, even if you did not divert pounds the beginning of the school year for that manufacturer. And then banks can be open or closed anytime throughout the school year. They're based off utilization. So if you are not utilizing your pounds and there's a bigger number of pounds that are sitting in that bank that are not currently being utilized or placed on order, that bank will become an open bank. So now that we've gone over those approved items and your draw per case and where to find your SEPDS, I want to go into our co-op dashboard. So right under the header co-op management, you'll find your co-op dashboard, which will actually give you your entitlement balances. So you'll also be able to see your USD entitlement balances. This is your percentage remaining for your process entitlement. This is your total entitlement available amount, and this is remaining percentage-wise. If you go under entitlement overview, you'll be able to see the breakdowns, what you were allocated at the beginning of the school year, what you've spent so far, your available amount remaining, and the percentage available. And then right under your available pounds by manufacturer, you'll see a breakdown of the pounds that you currently have available as the whole in the state of Idaho. Everyone's entitlement is contributed into this portion. So no, this does not mean that this is your school district's allocated pounds. This is the state's as a whole allocated pounds. So your portion of entitlement is directly affected into these. As you can see for bait crafters, we have extremely minimal pounds available. You'll be able to see all breakdowns in here by clicking view all items. You'll be able to see the manufacturer, the material code will just let you know what, if this is a pork, a beef, a chicken item, cheese, and you'll be able to see the item description for that as well. The fair market value of that, your total allocated pounds in the state of Idaho, and then current pounds utilized. And it'll also give you this really cool pounds on order, which will let you know as a whole how many pounds are currently being placed on order for that material. So for example, 872.26 pounds are currently on order for our cargo.
Hey, Edith,
Yes.
there's a question that says, can you define co-op dashboard?
Yes, so the co-op dashboard just houses all of our important information and breakdowns for your entitlements. And it'll also give you the same thing for your USD, your direct delivery items. So it houses it in dollar entitlement value, and it'll also give you breakdowns for specifics spent and utilized. And then if you guys have any other questions just on specifics, you can also just write it in the chat. That way we're answering questions as we're reviewing. And then this actually commodity pounds by manufacturer description material, you can actually export this into an Excel or PDF to keep for your own records. This will be constantly ever changing your pounds on order and pounds utilized as pounds are being invoiced and placed on order. So I would advise to check regularly your portal to see your true pounds currently available before placing an order to make sure we have pounds for that material. And then if you want to see breakdowns of what you've utilized as your school district, you would check the process entitlement for your further processed items. And you're able to see your spent column. You'll see the total value entitlement. And then this will pull every single invoice, your document number, and then your manufacturing item number. This is our 4 Series Gold Star item number, the item description, our manufacturer for that, and then total cases shipped per invoice. Your pounds, and your total entitlement value associated with that invoice.
And now, Edith, we have a question. Where can you find the open bank file?
The drawdown cheat sheet. This I sent at the beginning of the school year, and then as banks are open or closed, these notes would be written by yourself. If you don't have a copy, I can send a copy of this. What school district was it, Kat?
Judy, what school district are you with? Fremont.
Okay.
Thank you.
And I'll send that one over after our review. And then this can also be exported into Excel or PDF. I'm going to export it to Excel just to show you guys how easy it is to filter through to find your different manufacturers or item numbers. I'm going to filter by one manufacturer. For this purpose, I'm just going to use Cargill, so we use the same one throughout. You'll be able to see that this is your document invoice number. And the only item that has been utilized is our cooked scrambled eggs. And your total cases to date delivered are 65, and a total of 1,194.70 pounds have been utilized. You can compare your total pounds utilized or your cases to what you requested would be diverted for the school year to be able to let you know how far in advance you can start placing orders, or how many cases of those you'll need to start placing. And our system allows you to place orders as far out as needed, so you can start placing orders now, for February, March, April. So it does allow for you to do that as well.
Edith, I have quite a few schools that want that sheet, so I'm just gonna go ahead and take down all the names and then I'll email those to you at one time.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Kat. And then the last one I want to go over tool is our advertisements. This will house any requests for surrendering in your 5 series items. When I say your 5 series, I mean your direct delivery USDA foods, your brown boxed items. You can only place a direct delivery item on your advertisements. It will not allow you to place a 4 series, a processed item, for grabs. So this will let you know the type of ad that this is. So if it's an in-storage item, it means that it's an item that's currently in warehouse and available to be taken in. A pending on order item will let you know this is an item that has not arrived in warehouse, but will be arriving. It'll also give you that item number, our 5 series, and then our USDA code, which is the same item number you will find in WBSCM for that material, your description, and then the quantity that is being advertised, who has advertised this, and then just the date posted. By clicking request, you'd be able to enter the quantity of cases you would like to claim in. And you would just hit preview. And it's the same process for anything that is advertised by a school district. You would go through the same request process and enter in the quantity of cases you would like to take in, preview, and then the next step would be submit. If you would like to post an advertisement, you would go into new advertisement. You would need to know if this is an in-storage item or a pending on order item. I'm going to go ahead and do an in-storage item for this purpose. You can see currently for diced tomatoes, if you wanted to select cases to advertise, you would select that item. And it'll let you know that item number, that sales order it's associated with, and the date that this item was received. The dwell storage begin date for that item. When you will start to accumulate after 60 days, it'll let you know that this is a 60-day mark for it. And it'll also give you the total cases you currently have available to advertise. You would just place the quantity you would like to advertise and then hit preview and then submit.
Edith, there's a question that says, why do some show as a negative amount?
Yes, so if I go back in to show you these. So for example, our our applesauce can. So there's currently negative 112 because there's more than 112 cases that have been requested to be taken in by school districts. And it allows me to get a better understanding of what items are most requested and let me know if I have any substitutes or any schools letting us know that they want to surrender cases or will be placing cases to surrender. Those school districts who have requested the over cases, I could offer out to them as kind of just letting them know that there's substitutes for this specific item. And it's the same for these.
Are you good if I just mention one thing, Edith?
Yes.
So just remember, please only take items that you need because once you take it from the advertisement board, you can't replace it. So once you order it, it's yours.
Yeah, so for all those items that you are requesting for the advertisements, you cannot place it back up for grabs. If you request that item, you would need to take that item in.
And then we have a question that says, to clarify, we can request even if there is a negative amount.
You can request, but you would not receive that specific item. If there's substitutes or other like items that I see are being placed, I would reach out to you and let you know that there's a similar like item, but you would not be able to take in any more of those negative items. Those are fully utilized. And then if you would like to see the items you've claimed, because maybe you've claimed the same item a few times throughout the school year and hadn't realized, you can go into all ads, go to my requests. There's currently none in here, but it would give you that type. So it'd be in storage or pending on order. It would give you the item number, the description, and then also give you the quantities of cases. If you would like to see what you've posted for or surrendered, you'd go to my ads. And it'll give you what if you've surrendered, what item, your description, and the quantity of cases you are offering to surrender. Just to mention that as well, if you have cases that you are surrendering and the cases have not been claimed, you will still need to take those cases in. So the ads is not a guarantee that you will not need to take these cases in. If they are being claimed, they are being redistributed to those school districts and your ad will be removed. But it is not a guarantee that you will not have to take these cases in. And then same for all like your ads, you can as well export any of them to Excel or PDF. Same for when you're looking at your ads that you're posting or ads that you're requesting. All of this can be exported or printed to facilitate use.
Sorry if you mentioned this already, Edith, but these cases can only be cases that are either at Northwest or coming in. They cannot be in your storage room.
Correct. So cases, and that's exactly why it'll give you in storage or pending on order. And those are the only two options that you have. They are either currently in warehouse or they will be arriving on a new truckload into our warehouse. And I'm going to go over one report that I think is important for everyone to be able to utilize. If you go onto your USDA on request, this will give you all items pending to arrive in warehouse. It'll give you that USDA material item number, the same WBSM material item number you will find, our Gold Star 5 series item number, because all our direct delivery items are 5 series. It'll also give you that sales order number. So our star lot number is also your sales order number in WBSCM. It'll give you your quantity, so your case counts, and the expected due date for these items to arrive. And just a reminder that due date is just an expected due date. Most of these truckloads do arrive on time, but there are a few that are actually pushed out because manufacturer cannot deliver on that specific date. And then same thing, all our reports you can also export to Excel or PDF or print. And then that's the end of my training. If you guys have any questions that weren't answered during our call, you can go ahead and send me an email and we can review. I know there was a few school districts who still needed our cheat sheet. I will be sending those. But don't be afraid to ask any questions and I can review individually with each one of you if needed.
This has been great, Edith. Thank you so much. The information is very valuable.
Thank you, Kat. I'm happy to help.
Yes, I know that's because you have helped me so much.
Oh, I'm here for it. I think as the more questions that are asked, the more we all learn. So thank you for those who did ask questions during the review. I appreciate that.
And we appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you, Kat. I'll be jumping off. I'll wait for that email for the school districts that needed the cheat sheet.
Yep, as soon as the call's done, I'll send it to you.
Perfect. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, Edith. Oh my gosh,
Thank you.
that was a great training. And let me get can you guys see the slide back?
No, we're still seeing Edith.
Oh gosh. Okay, let's see. Says
Oh,
stop.
you
Share.
know what? That was yours. This is why Kat doesn't play with technology.
No, this is good. Okay, so it says guest speaker.
Correct.
Okay, so let me then move on to you guys.
Hey. So for those of you who don't know it, but I'm pretty sure everyone should know that there's a new USDA Foods Program team, and that's Sean Charters and myself. So you'll be getting loads of emails from us and questions. And if you have questions, we'll be the ones that are sending it to you. I did send out a broadcast email this week. I'm kind of letting you know of a few things that are going to be happening. I heard quite a few say they didn't really mind that it was a broadcast email and not a blog. So for now, I'm going to keep sending it as a broadcast email. And so you can send questions to me or Sean, or you can still use the USDA Foods team email, but we're not going to get too excited if you don't use that one. If you just love, if you just send it to us individually or to both of us at the same time would be even better. Next slide. So a few schools have asked me about DoD and if they could get more money. Um, Only after we look at the entitlement can we decide if we're going to be able to share any other entitlement out for DoD. Right now, it's not looking good. Our entitlement, our meal counts went down this year, so we are right now a little negative in our entitlement. So Sean and I are watching that closely. If there's anyone out there who is not going to use their DoD funds, please let me know because there are schools who are really wanting to get some more money for that. So if you don't think you're going to use everything that you had, let me know. And that way I can redistribute it. And that would be much appreciated.
Hey, Kat,
Yep.
real quick, there was a thing about CACFP not being eligible to
Right. I think that's
participate.
on my next slide.
Okay, perfect then. Let me get over there.
And if it's not, then we'll mention it. Okay, so DoD receipts. We get quite a few coming back that you have not receipted your DoD. And please be aware that they've changed it. And so it's now 5 business days. And you can read the description there. But Sean and I send out emails letting you know that you have receipts that are past due, and those really do need to be receipted. So please keep that in mind. What Pamela was talking about is in child nutrition, if you're doing the CACFP at-risk after-school program, you may not use DoD produce for those meals, for the snacks and the suppers. And that's only for the CACFP. So we're going to be gearing up soon for the new ordering for next school year. So the frequent foods available list gets put out in December. Then Sean and I will go with that. We'll make a survey. We'll have the advisory council review those as well. And then once the survey comes in, we'll kind of put all the information together, and that determines what foods go on the catalog for Idaho in WebSCM. And then we have to get our state participation agreements out. So at the food show, there were quite a few vendors, and our advisory council, we had a meeting. And so we're looking at the vendors that were there. We really don't want to bring in more vendors. What we would like to do is perhaps open up a few more products with the vendors that we already have. But again, we're tabulating the information we got from our advisory council first. And then when we send out that foods available list in December, you'll have your chance to put in what you're feeling about certain products. And if you're not quite sure, direct delivery, those are the direct delivery foods like 6 number 10 cans of peaches. On here, it has green beans, chubs of ground beef. A further processed item is something that you send the raw pounds to the manufacturer and they turn it into a chicken nugget or a chicken patty, eggs, French toast sticks, things like that. So if you're new and you're not quite sure what direct delivery and further processed is, this is your definition. And if you still have questions, again, contact Sean or I. We'd love to hear from you. Procurement, I still will be conducting procurement reviews, but I do have someone that's helping me now, and you'll see her picture on the next slide. Just one thing to keep in mind that I'm noticing, the procurement thresholds did change. So if you are following the public school procurement thresholds, for you guys, it's 0 to 10,000 for a micro. In Idaho code, the small purchase is 10,001 to 75,000. Again, that's only for public schools. And then it goes from 75,000 to 150,000, and that's your informal. And then your formal bids for anything over 150,000, you need to go out to bid. And the good news is that the capital expenditure request threshold has been increased to $10,000. So that should be exciting. Now you can go, you don't have to do 5,000. You can contact me for 10,000. Right now in my CNP, it still hasn't adjusted that threshold. Linda has asked the question. So if you have problems putting in a request, just let me know. But we are aware of that problem, but $10,000 or more. So there you go. And this is Sharon DeSaw. Sharon was our admin assistant, and now she's going to be assisting me and Sean in the other parts of our jobs while we are learning our jobs with USDA Foods. So you'll be getting emails from Sharon, and she'll CC me on everything as well. But we're slowly getting her started, and so I'm really happy to have her on the team. And that is all from me. I will send Edith the list. If anybody else decides they want that list Edith was talking about, just shoot me a quick email and I can get you on the list I'm going to send to her after this call. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks so much, Kat. This is where Sean's going to come and talk to us about their grant.
Good morning, everyone. I wanted to give you all a heads up that the round one of the fiscal year 23 TIG mini grants will be released next week on November 27th. All sponsors operating NSLP, CACFP, or Summer Food are eligible to apply for this funding. The application will be sent to sponsors via email on the 27th. The application will also be available to download on the state's webpage under the Awards, Grants, and Recognition tile. Applications are due by January 3rd, and we hope to announce that those being awarded by January 27th. If awarded, anything purchased with the grant funds should be completed and installed within 6 months of the grant award. Next slide, please. This funding is for the purchase of items to meet your child nutrition technology needs. This can be the purchase of hardware such as laptops, desktops, printers, scanners, or digital displays. It can also purchase software such as POS systems, menuing, and inventory programs. Another eligible use would be training for any of the hardware or software being purchased. We have $150,000 available to award. The maximum amount that can be requested is $24,000, and you will be asked to submit 3 comparable bids with your grant application. Full details of the funding are included in the grant application form, along with examples of some projects that may assist you when developing your request. And that's all I have, so I can turn it over to the next speaker, please.
Thank you, Sean. It's going to be my turn. So I'll just remind you that NSLP on-site monitoring is due by February 1st. Just so you know, though, February 1st is on a Saturday in 2025. So basically, you need to be done with this by the end of January. Yay, highlights from Farm to School Month. We have a spotlight on Castleford Schools who sent in pictures from their Crunch Day. And here's another fun picture for folks who dressed up for Crunch Day as well. And this is the first one. Next year is going to be it's a lot more robust. So please, let's all plan that together. And then from the presentation I did at ISNA, Farm to School, making connections and growing solutions. So about grants, there's actually a webinar tomorrow that will go over all the different grants that are available through the Patrick Leahy Farm to School Grant Program. So please plan on attending that. And then also Project Scales is another great opportunity, but this deadline is quickly approaching. For that one, you need partners, and please reach out. We can get you some help with how to utilize these grants that really supplement your farm to school program. Many ways of building relationships with local sellers, and if you connect with them, just have conversations. They're definitely interested in getting into the school system because it's a stable market. Kids are going to eat. They can definitely plan on that, and also take advantage of those grants when they partner up with a school district. Some helpful topics of conversation have about, what they can grow for you. If they can pack it and what sizes you need. Of course, food safety is in there, and distribution. If you need help, if they need help getting it to you, there are some, between Grassmick and Charlie's, they cover the state of Idaho. So if and they're great to work with. So if you reach out to them, they might have a better idea of who's doing what and already out there. So winter season is the best time for scheduling meetings and discussing upcoming menus with farmers. Meet with farmers and distributors to determine what schools can use and when and how to get it there. And then remember that farm to school census? Yes, come to find out, local does count. The Western Region survey completion rate was about 63%, and that's about what it was across the country. But woohoo, the winner for the Western region is Idaho. 95% of school divisions completed the 2023 farm to school census. The top three sources of local purchases reported by SFAs in the Western region are DoD Fresh, produce distributors, and individual producers. The top three food groups that are sourced locally in the Western region are fruit, vegetables, and milk. And the top three challenges SFAs face when procuring local foods are the more expensive price, limited availability, and a difficulty finding local producers and distributors. And I guess we need to work on that the FUBER, the farm Uber concept. But if you want to look for census data, um, it's on the USDA's website, and you can use it to describe the activities that you're doing to get it over, provide this information to your wellness committees, um, to write on your posters, the local food served today on your breakfast and lunch posters, and really keep that conversation in front of kids. Now we'll go to what's in season, and we still have a few things, apples and onions and potatoes, of course. Pears still might be out there, but pumpkins, sweet potatoes, and winter squash. Um, there are some like arugula and kale is still, I don't know that arugula ever stops growing, but there you go. National Agriculture in the Classroom resources. This is free and open to whomever can utilize it. They have a great um, seasonal resources. They're like it says Thanksgiving resources for November. Um, and in just a sec, I'll put a link in there for us. But real quick, let me talk about literacy from the lunchroom. And these fun stories, Pumpkin Circle is an educational exploration of a pumpkin's life. It's a cycle that goes from a bug's eye view and a bird's high view of the seeds sprouting, flowers blooming, bees buzzing, pumpkins growing, and then going back to the earth. And that has a Parents Guide Award. And then Sophie's Squash is a playful story of a unique fall friendship between a girl and her squash. And then Time for Cranberries is just in time from the cranberry bog to the Thanksgiving table. It talks about the harvest of a classic American fruit. And then the ICN, Institute of Child Nutrition training opportunities. There's one in particular that I wanted to point out. This STAR Procurement Best Practices for Sourcing Locally Grown Foods. It was shown just last month. And if you go to the ICN website and iLearn, under recorded, get to your filters and recorded webinars in the STAR, click on the STAR section and it will pull this up for you. There's another webinar that's coming up tomorrow, and that's tips for increasing employee retention. From what I've heard, folks could definitely use some help with that. And that's about it for us. The next webinar is January 15th of 2025, if you can believe that. You'll see in January some upcoming trainings. So there's the USDA Foods training, NSLP training, and don't forget to get your on-site monitoring completed. So that's it for us. Thank you for all you do. We hope you have a wonderful little break and enjoy your holidays. And there's no webinar in December, so we will see you all next year. Here's our USDA non-discrimination statement. And finally, our contacts. So please reach out if you have any questions. More than happy to help you run your programs. That's it, everybody. Thanks so much.
Thanks, everyone.